99 of padel or tennis players have this constant habit that is dragging them down and not letting them get to the next level of their potential in their game. And the funny thing is that this habit is something that goes so unnoticed rather than all other aspects of their game. But like I said, it's one of the most important aspects, and if players cannot overcome this, they will never reach the top of the top, because it's something that every player has to go through and something everyone struggles with. And before I reveal that habit, I want to mention it in a sort of a personal experience that I saw it in. So I used to go to a lot of tournaments, padel, tennis, and just watch the best players of where I'm from play. And I remember there was this one player I really admired. He would go worldwide. He was a pretty big player. He was in the top 5 from where I was from. And I already noticed from the beginning a reoccurring pattern and a habit when he would win matches or when he would lose matches. And this was that every time he messed up a shot or did a mistake, he would talk bad about himself, and he would just start saying, you would visibly see that he would start getting frustrated, and that he would say something bad about himself, or just beat himself up about whatever it was. And when that happened, you could see that progressively he would just make mistake after mistake after mistake after that. It was like a downward spiral. But on the other hand, if he didn't beat himself up and he remained unfazed, and everyone saw that he remained unfazed, and he kept his cool, he would snap back into the game a lot quicker, and he would play with much more flow and do a lot less mistakes rather than if he were to talk bad about himself. And that brings me to the point of the habit that I want to talk about. And this habit goes a lot deeper than just beating yourself up, because of course we already know you gotta have positive affirmations when you talk to yourself, but it goes a lot more than just positive things you say to yourself. But that is the main concept. The main idea that I want to make clear is that your beliefs, your thoughts, and the words you use shape the reality around you. And this was so obviously the case for this one player, and he didn't realize until I eventually got to talk to him about it one time. And then he told me that it never even crossed his mind about how he thought about himself during the game would affect his performance. And that is what I want to touch on about today, what you can do on and off the court to increase your performance with the type of thoughts and the type of words you use to yourself. So I want to split this off into what you can do on the court versus what you can do off the court. And I'm going to start with what you can do off the court. So what's very important is that when you're off the court, when you're in your break, that you go through a debug mode, and that is to first of all just notice the type of thoughts you're saying to yourself, what's coming into your brain. Just notice them, and then when you notice them, recognize if it's a negative thought, and last but not least, replace it with something that you know is true and something that serves you rather than worsens your game. One thing I really want to drive home in terms of how you should talk to yourself is talk to yourself as if how you would talk to a child. And that's not saying that you are a child, but that is saying our psyche is very sensitive to a lot of our thoughts and a lot of the words we use to ourselves. And we gotta be very careful with what we feed it so that our performance can be the same. Just as if you were a child and you were in practice, and if you can remember that whenever a coach would talk down on you on how you're playing bad, that would not make you play better. That actually would close you up, and more likely than not, you would start playing worse or be even more in your head, start playing more mistakes. So as a coach, it's also very important to know to not bring so much negativity into a child. And that is the same for an adult, and that's the same thing you should be doing to yourself, the same way you should be talking to yourself, because you wouldn't want a friend that's talking bad about you constantly. you would probably not be friends with them. So if you wouldn't be friends with someone that would talk to you in that way, why are you talking to yourself in that way? Because that is not something that you want to be part of, and that is just toxic at the end of the day. So once again, the clear message that I want to get through to this video is that off the court, focus on these thoughts that you're having, recognize them if they're negative, and just replace them with a thought that serves you even more, that calms you down, that makes you focus back into the game. A lot of the time when we rash out on court because we make a mistake, it's 99% of the time it's because we want the people watching to know that that's not how we play. Like, we usually make that shot, we usually do a good forehand there, or whatever it could be, and us getting mad is a way to show them, like, oh, it's to let them know, like, oh, he's getting mad, that means he doesn't make those mistakes very often. But a lot of the time it's a lot of showboating, it's a lot of show. But I already made a video about how you can start thinking less about what other people think of your game. But at the end of the day, just focus on your game. Try to keep your emotions a straight line, as minimal as possible, and practice this. Practice in your practice matches, so that in tournament you already feel way more confident going into it. And in the court, like I said, law of presence is to eliminate thoughts, and that will increase your performance. Try to get out of your mind into the body and just do stuff with your intuition, with what you've been practicing on, that we know that you have been. Let me know what you guys would like me to uncover next. Once again, I'll leave a link down below where you can book a call with me, so we can see where you are in your tennis or padel game and what you are struggling with mentally, because this is not just something that you can watch a video on and just like immediately it's perfect. This is just like any other aspect of the game, something you have to work on constantly, and there's going to be ups and then there's going to be back downs, and you just have to work on improving it every step of the way. But if you need an extra help, an extra push, like I said, book a call with us so we can see where you are in your game and how we can help. It's completely free, so I'll see you there. I'll see you guys. Bye.